Okay, good evening. This regular board meeting of the Waco Independent School Board is hereby called to order. Item 10, review and discuss Opportunity Culture Program. Dr. Gutierrez.
Opportunity Culture is some of the most exciting work I think that's happening here in Waco ISD. We're at the vanguard of this work here in Texas and even nationally, because I believe there's probably only about a dozen school districts in the state of Texas doing this work, and it's definitely picking up some momentum. But the importance of this work is really around some of the biggest challenges we face here in education right now. Opportunity Culture helps us attract and retain teachers, and we're seeing the positive effects of that in the 5 schools where we're implementing. It's also about reaching excellence in our schools. We talk about having honor roll schools, about having a system of great schools and not just a good school here and there. This is an effort or a strategy to do that. And last but not least, it's about building a pipeline of teachers who growing our own pipeline and growing our own teachers and hiring from within and training those teachers and also building their leadership capacity.
When I came to Parkdale, we were a D campus, and so I knew what was going to be at the top of my agenda as an instructional leader. We knew we were going to have growth last year because of COVID the year before, but I don't think we could have really anticipated the amount of growth that we had when we implemented OC. I'm proud to say that 84% of our students met their growth measures in reading, and 83% of them met their growth measures in math. That's phenomenal. And we moved up to be a B campus.
Agenda item 11, discuss campus safety behavioral stats for the district and what plans have been implemented to improve behaviors, review out-of-school suspension rates, in-school suspension rates, violent incident reports for our current school year and last school year, 2020, 2021, and the 2018-2019 school year at each of our schools, drug use on campus, violent incidents involving staff and students, intruder or outsider reported on campus, data from 2018 to 2022 for primary and secondary campuses.
We are here this evening to provide the requested data as it's stated in the agenda item. And we are also going to provide a program update in relation to our multi-tier system of support.
What other consequences could there be besides ISS, OSS placement, DAEP, those things?
There is a myriad of those options. There's actually, in our student code of conduct, there's 2 pages worth of additional type of things that you can do on a campus that do not reflect anything that would be on here. We also have district things such as Saturday diversion. Most times campuses have the option for discretionary, which means they have the option to come with a consequence. They could say, we would like to do Saturday diversion in lieu of. And then if the parent and the student do not show up to that, then if DAP was originally on the docket, then that would be what they would do in return. Each campus administrator has, when a teacher puts in a referral in the system, an incident, they get get an email. Depending upon what that is, sometimes the teacher handles it in their class. Sometimes the teacher can go in and say, student was disruptive, I gave him after-school detention. But it's there and it's a copy because we don't do paper referrals anymore, so we're able to track that. If it's something that they send to the administrator, they have an option to say, this needs administrator action. So a lot of times, the teacher has a lot of options that they could do their own classroom behavior with it. If they feel that an assistant principal or principal needs to see it, they have admin action. The AP or the principal then looks at it. They will call in the student, they will investigate, they will talk to the teacher, they will do what they need to do. And then they have the determination and the option based on what it is to then decide what the offense or what the consequence could be. It could be, again, lunch detention, Saturday diversion, after school detention. It could be a conference with the parent, having them come up there. It could be a lot of things. Or it could be ISS or OSS, or they could decide whether it's discretionary or mandatory that DAP is what they need to do in that case. And then they have to submit paperwork to support their decision in that consequence if it's DAP.
One of the things that we wanted to point out, which your questions help reflect, is that the data is just that. Those are numbers. They are trackable. Some of them reflect things that are required by the state. Some of them are things that we have found to be important in strong catalysts for conversations, but what we are really interested in is the humanity that is within those numbers and making sure that we do have a comprehensive, accurate understanding of what's happening on our campuses. That comes through not through data points on a chart, but in our interactions with them. And to that point, the data does not represent a vacuum where it stands alone. It really stands as the beginning of a conversation, an opportunity for us to work with our campuses to ensure that all students really are able to access a safe learning environment.
Next item, 11B, discuss, take action regarding the safety of the design for Tennessee Middle School, G.W. Carver Middle School, and Waco High.
Discussing the safety of a design that I feel like our community has spoken on and gave their decision on what they think should happen. I've gotten a lot of questions on why request this agenda item. Not only has there been changes, different TEA proposed rules that might be changing, but also our community wants to discuss this, and our community wants us to have this discussion. So that's the point, because we're ultimately here to represent our community.
We've had extensive conversations with folks I have had extensive conversations with folks in my community. I, by all means, have no desire to create a plan that is unsafe for our kids. At the same time, I have a magnificent desire to create a space that is suited for learning for the next 40 years. You may not feel like you've had this debate. You may not feel like you have been heard. I feel like as a board, we voted on this 3 times. You have been heard.
I believe that some teachers have not come up here to support the design because they do not want, they're under enough stress already. They don't need more stress from community members that don't agree with them just because they feel that that's the best way that they want to teach.
Ready?
Yeah, I'll speak to the TEA proposed rules regarding glass. I attended a meeting with the new Chief of Safety for the Texas Education Agency, and what the proposed requirement is that there would be intruder-resistant material on a window that is next to an entry that is not in a secured area.
I don't mean any disrespect or whatsoever, but I know you're a safety expert. So my question is, if you were okay with the safety from the beginning, when you saw that first fly-through of the schools and what they're going to look like, and nothing's changed on the interior design, then why were they safe then, and why are they not safe?
Once we saw the classroom hallways and they showed that it had a glass design that wasn't shown in the earlier designs. Once it was shown, I'm repeating myself, once the classroom designs were shown, that's when the question came up.
The motion is to make an amendment to the design of Tennessee Middle School, G.W. Carver Middle School, and Waco High School. That's the motion.
Did you get that, Monica? Thank you. Okay, roll call.
Yes.
No.
Nope.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Thank you. It fails 2-5.
The board is returning from closed session at 12:31 where no action was taken, and this meeting is adjourned.